Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. And yes, I'm aware it's been a few months since I've made a video. Things have been crazy. We all know what's going on in the world, but we're not gonna focus on that today. What we're gonna focus on today is talking about familiars. So what we're going to be talking about today is familiar basics. To get you acquainted with familiars, what they are, what they do, and give you some tips on how you can find your own familiar. I do have a familiar. His name is Matcha, and he might join this video if he wants to. He might not. That's up to him. He is in the room right now, but he's sleeping in a linen closet, so I don't know if he'll come over to be in the video. So my familiar does happen to be a black cat. I know that's extremely cliche, a witch and her black cat. However, familiars do not have to be black cats. In fact, they don't have to be cats at all. Familiars come in all shapes and sizes, and they can range from animals to astral beings, plants, or even an object that aids you and brings you closer to your craft. But the most common familiars are animals, and one thing to keep in mind is not every animal you come across or that you own is going to be your familiar. Obviously, it's easy to connect to your pet. A lot of us feel like they are family and we have a deep connection with our animals, but familiars are different. You do have that connection with them as you would other animals, but there's something deeper there. The bond runs a lot deeper, and a familiar is there to aid you and help you with your craft. You will know this bond when you come across it. You'll feel it, and it'll be unlike the other bonds that you're used to feeling with your animals. So if you don't have a familiar, you might be thinking, well, how do I get one? Do you just pick one out? Hey, I like you. You're gonna be my familiar now. No, not really. You'll feel a call of sorts to your familiar, almost like a voice. Some witches say that they can actually telepathically communicate with their familiar, and they do hear their voices. Some ways you can find your familiar or call upon a familiar is during meditation, dreams, or astral projection. There are spells and rituals you can do to call upon a familiar. However, those aren't guaranteed to work, and honestly, I'm gonna be honest here, I haven't done one to call on my familiar. My bond just happened, so I'm not the right person to tell you how to do a spell to manifest a familiar. I'm sure there are videos out there. My suggestion is just keeping yourself open to finding a familiar. Put out into the universe that you're looking for a familiar, and I'm sure that one will cross your path soon enough. So if you do have animals at home and you want to know if that bond can be strengthened to a familiar bond, a good indication that an animal is your familiar is they take an interest in your spell work. Oh Lord, he coming! Your animals sit in during rituals while you're doing tarot? Do they like to be around your altar? Perhaps they'll point to a certain incense or herb. It started to rain. One thing I do want to talk about is never force an animal to be present during a ritual or to partake in your spell work. A familiar will do that on its own. It'll make its own decision to be with you during your spell work. A common question is, can you have more than one familiar? And the answer is yes, you can. I'm sure there's some witch out there with a household full of familiars. I just have one. Every experience is unique to the witch. So some witches have one familiar, some witches have 5 familiars, and some witches have no familiars. Just because familiars are commonly associated with witches and witchcraft does not mean you have to have a familiar in order to be an authentic witch. Your craft is personal to you, and you can practice in any way you want to. Thank you for watching my video. I don't know when I upload videos. It's sporadic if you haven't noticed. Things have just been insane in the world, and I've been really focused on trying to get my life back to being calm. But I did hope you enjoy this. If you want, you can subscribe to my channel. I like to put out witchy videos, and I'm going to be doing other videos too. This isn't going to be a strictly witchy channel, but for now, that's most of the content. And I love talking to you guys about magic. So if you like that, stick around, subscribe, and comment down below. Tell me if you have a familiar and what their name is. Tell me about them. I want to know about all the cute animals and plants and astral beings. Want to say bye-bye. Bye-bye.